Hello, everybody. Good evening. Sandey Adelaja here. Shegun Fatuma, welcome. Omonike, welcome. Adeleke Adeniyi, welcome. Rochelle White, welcome. Niyo Lushala, you're welcome. Bidemi, welcome. Yomi Jegede, welcome. Shinwe Ananaba, welcome. TY, nice to see you. Jefferson Uzoma, welcome. Akin Sugar, welcome. Aaron Naware, Eric Osadolo, Anastasia McDonald, Perez Mary, Clemsy Clement, Nkiro Jimadu, Candy Rose, Usheshuku Amadi, Stella Nuhu, Jennifer Watson, Franklin James, She Sandra, Paul David. Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. Mofelola Olagbegi, Norma Ramirez, Jennifer Watson again, Brandy Wonu, Nigerian Arise, Glory Baye, Ikifa, Brandy again, Mariam Eka, Ufoma Anigoro, Comfy, Annie Baudo, Boado, Nanelle Turner, OK Stella, welcome. Yeah, the weather is now better, Stella. Thank you. It's a little bit better now. Akim Yemi, welcome everybody. Fumi Jaboda. Now, let's go ahead and look for the share button, everyone. Let's go ahead and look for the share button and let's share that button. It's under your video. Let's go ahead and share the video because this video is going to be serious, especially for the men who have women in their lives. If you have a man or a woman in your life, you need to listen to this. And for the women also, you might want your husband or your father or your son or your brother to listen to this. And this topic today is going to be very, very serious and very, very personal. I want to prove to everyone that is listening today why all the women in our lives must absolutely be taken care of. So today's topic is going to be why every woman in our life must be taken care of. Why every lady must be cared for. And like I said, maybe this is not going to happen in America or somewhere or in the West, but if you want to marry, if you are planning to marry and you are planning to take a woman to come and live with you in your house to become a husband of a woman, I will really appeal to you to consider working hard, being able to provide for her a conducive environment such that she would never have to worry about anything. And there are reasons for that. Now, I've given you a lot of arguments why women must be catered for and cared for over the 2-3 weeks that we've been talking. But today is Friday, so I only have 3 days before next week. Next week, I'm going to be talking about something else, about the family, men and women, but something else. So today, and tomorrow and Friday and Sunday, I have three sessions where I will preaching. So I'm going to be talking about why a lady must be cared for and why a lady must be taken care of. These three messages that I have left to conclude and to round up this topic. Now, some men are already nervous that I tend to be defending the ladies more, and I think you will understand why now. Why I come more on the side of the woman, and why I tend to defend the woman more. So this whole weekend, I'm going to be talking about reasons why every lady must be cared for, why we must care for the ladies in our lives. We must care for our women, we must care for our daughters, we must care for our wives, especially our wives, and we must care for our sisters. We must care and take care of every woman that God has brought to our lives. And the reasons, I'm going to give you physiological reasons or physical reasons or natural reasons, just natural arguments why every lady needs to be taken care of. Natural arguments, just logical, natural, physical arguments why we must take care of our ladies. Physical, normal, natural arguments why every lady has to be taken care of. Now, number one reason why every lady must be taken care of is because, first of all, I was pushed to this, especially by what somebody wrote this morning. Somebody wrote this morning that he lives in Finland, and that in Finland, the whole country boasts and prouds itself in the fact that it is the most genderly equal society in the world. And that is not just Finland, that is almost all Scandinavian countries and European countries, that they are they are genderly equal. While I am for gender equality, but not to the extent that the Scandinavians have taken it. The Scandinavians have made, gender equality to mean that you should just treat women like men. You treat them equally. You treat women, to do the same work, to do the same odd job. Just treat them as if there is no difference. But I am of the opinion that women still must be taken care of. They are made different. They have different psychological needs. They have different emotional needs. And they have different physical needs as well. Even though they must be equal in positionally, but when it comes to attitude, men must take charge and be tender with women. It is no accident. The Bible says that women are the weaker vessels. And if they are the weaker vessels, the Bible told us that we should take care of them as the weaker vessels, that we should treat them as princesses of God, as the co-heir of the godly life. We should treat them as princesses. So every woman should be a princess. Every woman should be treated like a princess. And I want to give you the arguments that I have. And one of those strong arguments that I feel that we should all know about. First of all, look at the physical look of the man and woman. Physically, just looking at the men and women, you see that the men are built stronger. Men are built to be stronger. So if men are stronger, what do you use strength for? We use strength, first of all, to power, any kind of strength. Power, strength, influence, authority, anything that makes you to be superior or to be bigger or to be stronger. If you are stronger financially, if you are stronger politically, if you are stronger physically, you must know how that is meant to be used. So anybody that is privileged in this world to have something that other people don't have, the only reason why God has given you that position, either it's a position of power, it's a position of influence, or it's a position of affluence, any place of authority or power where you find yourself in, you must know how to use it. So there is a purpose for power. Even the physical power that man possesses over the woman, the advantage, the physical advantage that man possesses, there's a reason for it. So what is the purpose of power? What is the purpose of strength? What is the purpose of position, of superiority? What is the purpose? Why does God make some people to be stronger financially, or to be stronger physically, or to be stronger than other people politically? The purpose of power is that power must be used to elevate the people who have less of that power. If you have financial power, your finances, the reason why you have power, financial power, is not just for you and your family, it's for you to use that power to lift other people who are less privileged than you financially. If you have political power, the reason why God has given you that political power is that you will use that power to lift other people up politically. If it is physical power you've got, you must use that power to protect other people. So the reason for power and the reason for any advantageous position we might find ourselves in is that we will use our position of influence or affluence or privilege or advantageous to the position, that we will use it to defend and protect other people. So when it comes to physical power that men have as against the women, the reason why men are built to be stronger physically than the ladies is that men will use that physical power. God is trying to talk to us even through nature, even through our build, even through the way we have been built up. God is trying to communicate to us, and He's trying to tell us that you are built in such a way for a purpose. And the reason we have been built the way we have been built is for us to use our feet. God is trying to let you know that it is not by chance that you are stronger, that it's not by accident that you look stronger and much more, energetic than the woman. The reason why God has made the men to be physically stronger than the woman is not that we will begin to oppress them and begin to tell them, I am the head of the family. You see, I told you, listen to me. The Bible says, I am the head. You must listen. What did I tell you? This is what I told you. No. Power generally must be used to protect. Power generally must be used to bring security and stability. Power also must be used to elevate. So the reason why men have been built in a way that they are physically stronger than the woman is for us to be able to protect the woman, to be able to bring stability to their lives, and to be able to protect them, and to be able to elevate them and bring them to a place of honor, to a place of respect, to a place of dignity. Now, men always don't want to hear this, because the men are thinking, but women are fighting for themselves. And women, if you give them any assistance or authority, or if you elevate them anyhow, even without you elevating them, they're already fighting their ways forward, and they want to put their nose everywhere. They want to be the first. They want to rule over the men. But you see what is happening is because when women feel that men are not there to protect them, when women are feeling that they need to fight for themselves, that is why they keep on fighting for themselves, because there are no men that are present in their lives to fight for them, to stand for them, and to defend them. I mean, like I said, even during the American election, look at the way Donald Trump was behaving. He was behaving like a bully to the lady, to Hillary Clinton. I mean, there's no reason for that. I mean, you should not, because this kind of man, Donald Trump, even though he was elected to be the president, but he doesn't know the purpose of power. Because the purpose of power, even if you have the advantage to oppress her and to bully her and to call her names, that is the very time when you are supposed to withdraw from it, and to restrain yourself from doing that. Because you have that advantage over her, because you have that power over her, and because you are the stronger man, and then you are trying to bully her and call her names and shout at her. That is exactly the opposite that a man is supposed to do. A man should never be caught using his power to oppress the woman. And that is why it is supposed to be criminal in every country for a man to beat a woman. It's supposed to be criminal in every country, criminal offense for a man to use his physical power to oppress somebody that is younger than you, or that is weaker than you. Power is not supposed to be used for oppression. Power must never be used to, especially against people who are inferior to you in that dimension, in that particular area. That is called abuse. So whenever you are using your power, physical power, to go against somebody that is weaker than you, obviously wicked than you, that is an abuse. So if you really want to use your power, go use your power against somebody that is of your equal, or go use your power against somebody that is, that is stronger than you. Then you can go and demonstrate power there, but never demonstrate power against people who are lower than you. That is an abuse. This is not just talking about physical power. This is talking about financial power. If I have more money now and I'm using the power of my money to come against somebody that is weaker than me, that does not have the power of the financial power that I have, and I use that money to suppress the person, that is an abuse. If I go and use my position because I'm a pastor and I have a position of authority, and I begin to use that position to be dominant and to oppress and push another person down who is lower than me in the society, that is an abuse. So power is meant to support. Power is supposed to be used to lift. Power is supposed to be used to elevate. Power is supposed to use to provide leverage, to give the other people, the weaker people, a leverage, to give them an equal leverage. So if anybody is lower than me, I use my power to lift them up. If they are lower than me financially, I use my power, the power of my knowledge, financial knowledge, to give them leverage. If they are weaker than me physically, I use my power to lift them up and give them leverage. So a man is there as being stronger physically than the woman to always provide a leverage for the woman. That a woman would not need to be carrying all the big stuff. They will not need to be carrying all the heavy load. They will not need to be doing all the other things that they are being forced to do by the society. The society that is trying to make us know and tell us that we are equal and we are the same. But you will see now that even biology, even nature did not make us the same. And the Bible has said that the woman is the weaker vessel. We should always watch after her. We should always be protective of her. We should always be tender towards her, be kind towards her, and care for her. We should always be very delicate with a woman and very fragile with any woman. And so the very first argument that I use today, that why we must be kind to the woman and why we must protect and take care of a lady, of every lady and woman in our lives, is because we are built to be physically stronger. And it doesn't matter who the woman is. It could be your mother, it could be your sister, it could be your colleague, it could be your friend, it could be your husband, wife, it could be your daughter. You must be kind to them. Like for example, when we were here for the HMT, there were some foreigners who came with us, and we were always telling them to not to allow the women to carry stuff. So we were always discouraging the women from carrying heavy load here in Ukraine, here in our church. And we always tell the boys and the men to go ahead and carry the things, because you have the power and you are sitting down and you are allowing the women to do that. That is not correct. Men must be taught to always be proactive, initiative, and rush to help somebody, especially women who are weaker than us. That is what we must be doing at every junction. But that is just the natural physical reason that we could see that why a man must take care of every woman in their life. But let me give you other arguments. Number 2 argument, why every woman must be cared for and why every man must take care of every single woman in their lives. Another reason is because about the hormones issue with a woman. Our women have problems with their hormones, and they need hormonal balance all the time. And we also have hormones as men, but our hormones and the way our hormones work don't even compare to the way the hormones of the women work. Especially when it comes to the gland, to the hormone glands of the woman, and the hormones that is responsible for their what is this gland here? The gland that is I forgot what to call that in English. Well, anyway, the hormone gland, they are more they are more it's more complex for the for the woman. So because of those hormones because of those glands that are producing the hormones, the intensity actually of the production of hormones in a woman is much more intense. It's much more faster. Thyroid, because of the thyroid hormones. Thyroid, yeah, you're right. Joseph and telling me the thyroid hormones, they produce, the intensity of the thyroid for the woman. It's producing a lot of hormones that are making the woman to be much more sensitive. So because of the way the thyroid gland works and the hormones is producing, the women are 14 times more sensitive than the men. 14 times more sensitive. They feel pain 14 times more than the men feel. And it's a pity that the men don't know this information. They are sensitive. They are more sensitive to everything that is going on. Everything affects the woman. The woman feels pain. Either it is psychological pain or physical pain or moral pain or, any kind of hurt. Hurts are very bad. Any pain, any negative thing is very destructive to the woman. Even if it is a criticism, it's destructive to her. Even if it is you just trying to talk her down and talk bad things about her, it's very destructive to the lady, because she responds to every pain. She responds to every humiliation. She responds to every abuse. So one of the reasons is because, physically speaking, because of the way her body is built, because she needs those hormones to be able to deal with her menstruations, and she needs those hormones for her body to be able to prepare the organism and her body to carry a baby, to be able to carry a child, and to be able to provide for that child. So the body needs a constant renewal and constant cleansing, and because of all that cleansing that is needed, and all that release of blood and all that is needed, I'm sorry. She needs help, and those hormones, they make our body to make all our body to be reactive, to be responsive, and she's more sensitive, 14 times more sensitive than the man. 14 times more sensitive. That is a strong reason why every man must never offend a woman. You should never offend a woman, because she is feeling that pain 14 times more than you are feeling it. She is feeling everything. That's why the Bible says she's a weaker vessel. Just like you will not throw this cup now anyhow. Just like you will not, just push it anyhow and do anyhow. So you have to care for it. You have to watch after it. You have to be tender with it. The only attitude that is right towards women is a tender attitude. She must be treated with tenderness. Every woman must be treated with a lot of tenderness. Now, another reason why, number 3 reason why we must take care of a woman, why every woman must be taken care of, is because of the blood circulation. Now, the way the blood circulates in the man and in the woman is totally different. Okay, so let me say this: the volume of blood in the man is much more bigger volume, bigger amount of blood that circulates in a man than in a woman. In a woman, the blood circulation, the volume of the blood is less than the volume of the blood in a man by 1.2 liters. So 1 liter and 200, 1.2 liters is 1.2 liter of blood a woman has less in her than in men. So because of that, lower amount of blood, so her heart has to work faster, and because of that, so she's more responsive, and she is forced to to be concerned, to be sensitive even more, and to react more. She's weaker because of that. If you have 1 liter, 1.2 liter of blood less in your body, of course you can become more sick, you can become more weak. So that explains why women are much weaker. They are weaker because of the amount of blood in them is even less than us, and their heart has to work faster, has to pump blood even faster to be able to provide for them. So a woman must be treated like a weaker vessel, definitely. Now, another reason why a woman must be treated, number 4, whatever number, I don't know. Another reason why a woman must be treated with tenderness and with delicateness, and is that is because of what do you call it? Estrogen. Do you call it estrogen in English? Estrogen, or is it estrogen or estrogen? Estrogen and progesterone and estrogen. Now, right? But those are the things in women that make them, for women, they make them to be, to be different from the man. But for the man, it is erythrocin, what do you call that in the man? Yeah, in the woman, okay, yeah. Estrogen, erythrocyte. The blood of the man is richer in erythrocin and hemoglobin. We are richer. We have, what was that in English? Erythrocyte. Okay. Erythrocyte. The blood of the man is full of erythrocyte as against the woman, which is estrogen, and it makes her weaker. But for the man, erythrocyte and what? And hemoglobin. So because of, okay, the man's body, erythrocyte. Erythrocyte. Because of the man's body, the man's blood has richer erythrocyte and hemoglobin, so much more in the yes, because of that, the body of the man is stronger and the blood is able to work faster. But for example, in the woman, for a liter of oxygen to be transported in her body, she needs 7 more liters of blood. So to pump 1 liter of oxygen, just 1 liter of oxygen into the body of the woman, she needs to use 7 liters of blood. But in men, it's just 6 liters of blood that is needed to pump the blood. So the intensity of the blood that is needed and the intensity of work of the blood in the system of the woman is much more intensive. It's much more stronger than in the man. And so the man, even though the man has more blood in him, but he's working more peacefully. He just needs 6 liters to pump 1 liter of oxygen. But the woman, she has 1.2 liters of blood less in her body, but yet because of that, she needs to work faster, and she needs 7 liters of blood to just pump in 1 liter of oxygen. So because of that, the woman's body is constantly working, intensity of hormones, and she needs the hormonal balance, and the intensity of her heart is stronger. The blood system is working more intensely, and all those things they make the woman to be more vulnerable. So there is just any way you look at it, a woman needs to be cared for. A woman must be taken care of, and that is why the woman cannot have so much. They cannot handle so much load and so much physical burden and physical weight and burden as man could, and we can deal more with physical things, weight and things like that, because of the because of the oxygen. But why is it that men, when men and women run, men will always run faster? Why? Or men will always carry, even if they are all Olympic champions, men are always carrying something heavier. Why? Because of that size of the, size of the heart. I will talk about that size of the heart also. But because of the amount of blood that is in men and in women, and because less oxygen it comes into the woman than the man, because she, for the same size of oxygen, amount of oxygen, she needs 7 liters of blood, and man only needs 6 liters of blood. Now let's talk about the heart, the size of the heart. That is another reason. If you are writing, please write the next reason why women must be taken care of. Another reason why women must be taken care of is because of the size of the heart. The size of the heart of the man is bigger. It's bigger than the size of the heart of the woman. So, this is biology right here. This is biology. So if you look at the size of the heart of the woman, it is 100, for different people, there are different sizes. But between 100 and 200 millimeter smaller than the size of the heart of the man. So 100 to 200 millimeter smaller in size. That is even the heart, just the physical something, looking at physical size. So even that is already another reason why women must be taken care of. So there is absolute no argument. So because in the morning and all these 2 weeks, when I was paying more emphasis on why we must take care of women, and why women need our care, and why men must work and make sure that they provide for their wives and for their women. Men are always criticizing me and say, why do you talk less about men? Men must be taken care of. No way, you are paying too much attention to the women. But you must know how we are built. We are built to take care of the women. That's because of them we work. Because of them we struggle. I mean, everything has been messed up in our world today. And everybody just want to be the same. And everybody want this, for me, I think it's a disgrace for a man to be trying to wed and marry and saying, okay, the woman will make 50% of the income and the man will make 50% of the income. Okay, she will go and be working for the house, I'll be working for the car, or I'll be working for the house, she'll be working for the car, or she'll be providing the food stuff and I'll be providing for the school fees. All those kind of talk. If you are a man for real, if you are a real man, you should be able to set your wife free from some of these, extra cares. If you really want to marry, if you really want to prove that you are a man, you are approaching a woman that you want to take responsibility for her life, you must be able to think first and be able to make sure that you can provide for yourself and provide for her as well and for the children. You shouldn't be thinking about how much she is going to be making. You shouldn't be counting her money in her own pocket, because it is you that is making an approach to her. It is you going to approach her. It is you telling her to come and marry you. And if she wants to marry you, you are bringing her to your home. So you must be able to provide for. Just like say you are inviting people to your house and then you are telling them to gather money for them to be able to eat. Why did you invite them in the first place? So the same thing, if you are inviting a lady to become your wife, you must be in the place to provide for her. Not begin to tell her, okay, you go and work, make 50%, I make 50%. But apart, that is just moral talk, right? But even physically, like I'm saying now, women must be taken care of. And I personally, maybe you could say that I am old-fashioned or I am not sophisticated. But I personally think that a woman, if she wants, if she doesn't have to work, if a man is really responsible, I think that you have to provide everything for her so that she chooses if she wants to work or she doesn't want to work. In my own thinking, I think she doesn't have to work unless she wants to work just for a change and to give herself some relief. I mean, some a hobby and to fulfill her ministry and her calling, only for that, but not because she needs to work for survival. I think a man should be able to take care of that. That is how I feel, and because of what I know too much, and I know enough to know that a woman must be treated like a princess. She must be treated like a co-heir of God's grace, and she must be treated like the weaker vessel. And part of that is providing for her everything that is needed before, That's why I gave a message one time, while I don't drive, why my wife doesn't cook and I don't drive. And that message just caused a lot of commotion. But I know what I'm talking about. I know why my wife is not cooking. I would rather get a maid. I would rather get a gardener. I would rather get a help. I would rather get to pay them money and then get my wife to be doing all the horrible, not the horrible, but all the mundane things that's why she's my wife. So I don't care for your wife. You do anything you want with your wife, but that is what my own decision is. But even if you cannot do it right now, I think you can aim towards that. You can put it as your goal. Put it as a goal as a man. Put a target before yourself that you are going to relieve your woman as much as possible, that you are going to give her so much comfort and so much security and so much stability that she will be surprised and she will be amazed by how much you will be doing for her. That is how I think, especially for these reasons I've said, because she is physically weaker than the man. Secondly, because she is more sensitive, 14 times more sensitive than the man. Thirdly, because of all those complications in the blood, because our blood is 1.2 meters less than the man, and because the oxygen rate of coming to our body, for her to get 1 meter of oxygen, she needs 7 liters of blood, and we men just need 6 liters. And that also tells me the reason why. And because of the erythrocyte, or whatever, that we have more, and all these things that we have in our body, hemoglobin, more erythrocyte, and all those things that we have in our body, and they have less, all those things, they are reasons why we also must, we must care for these ladies. And let me tell you something more about the heart. And then the size of the heart is smaller, by 100 to 200 millimeter. Because of the size of the woman is smaller than the man, I think we have to take care of them. Because apart from the size that is smaller, by 100 to 200 millimeter, the weight also, the heaviness, the weight of the heart for the woman also is less than the weight of the man's heart. The woman's heart weighs 50 grams less. The woman's heart weighs 50 grams less than the man's heart. So man has a bigger heart. It's not just bigger in size, but it's heavier. And yet is working less to get oxygen than the woman. And yet the woman's heart has to work more intensely. So a lot of complication in the woman's body, in woman's body. And that is why, we must take care of the woman. I don't know. I think the word of God is enough. The word of God just says that, they are the weaker vessel. You should believe it. But I have gone to do the research. And what I'm finding out from the research is proving to me day after day that I am right in my attitude to the woman. Women must be taken care of, and we must not allow them to go through all the trouble that they are going through. Either they are our mothers, or our sisters, or our daughters. Next point. Because I told you that the heart of the woman is smaller, and it's weightless, and also I told you that the blood in the volume of blood in the man is more by 1.2 liters of blood more than the woman. And as a result of that, for the woman to catch up, and I also told you that, for oxygen to come to the body of the woman, she needs, 7 liters of blood. We just need 6 liters of blood to get 1 liter of oxygen. So, so let's talk about the heartbeat of the woman. In the average, the heart of the woman beats faster. So the heartbeat of the woman is beating much faster. It's working much more intensely. The heart of the woman has to work much more intensely, and the heartbeat is much more faster than the man. And that is why they are always nervous. So that's why they're always concerned. And we men always condemn them. Why are you always panicking? Why are you always crying? Why are you always nervous? Why are you always, little thing you're always crying, little thing you're always nervous, little thing you're always this? Because they are built differently, and we have to try to rather understand them. And I'm telling you the reason now. The reason is because the heartbeat of the woman beats faster, and in the heartbeat of the woman of the man beats like 72 72 beats a minute, right, for the man. That is in the average, all right, 72 beats in a minute. But in a minute, the heart of the woman, the heartbeat of the woman is 90 beats in a minute. So you see the intensity of the heart. How many heartbeats a woman has in a minute is 90, and for the man it's just 70. It's just 72. 72 heartbeats in a minute for the man. 72. That's why we are more relaxed. So you wonder why anything happens, the woman is always, panicking and crying and all that, because the heartbeat of the woman is, even when nothing is happening, that's why the woman is always more focused on problems. She's always more concerned about something is happening, more panicky, that's why the woman needs stability. So, and the expression of love to the woman, therefore, is to give her covering. Is to give her that assurance that everything is okay. Is to give her that stability. So to provide stability for the woman is to love the woman. To provide security for the woman is to love the woman. To provide understanding for her so that she will not have to bother and she will not have to be troubled about so many things is the expression of love for the woman, you say. So the best thing you could do for your woman is to really cover her and really make her feel, and that she's in that fort, she's in that fountain, in that fortress, in that castle where she's totally covered and protected, and that is what men are supposed to bring into the life of the woman. And so I personally, some people will argue that the women don't want them to be protected, or the women don't want to look weaker. Well, I'm telling you the way it is, and I'm telling you the way it's supposed to be. Now, some women have, maybe refused some men's protection or men's attention because they want to be strong, but there are reasons for that. It's because the women have been, people have taken advantage of them so much, so they want to stand for themselves. And I wish you understand that. But the way it is, I'm telling you that the heart of the woman, one of the reasons why she has to be protected, why we should treat her like a weaker vessel, is because her heartbeat is 90 heartbeats a minute, while the man's heartbeat is just 72 heartbeats a minute in the average, all right? And then the size of the woman's heart is, is much smaller than the size of the man's heart. Is by 100 to 200 millimeter smaller, and then is 50 gram lighter. The man's heart is 50 gram heavier than the weight of the woman's heart. So that all tells us why she's more nervous, and she's more susceptible to be concerned, and to become more nervous, to become hysterical, and to become emotional and things like that. So I think that it is just proper to take care of the ladies and to pay attention to them, give them protection, give them covering, whatever happens, to make sure that, we are there for the ladies, that we are there for them. Let me see what people are writing, by the way. Are they thinking that I'm crazy, or they're in agreement? Anyway, I think I will read what they're writing later on. Let me continue my arguments why every lady must be taken care of. Like I said, because of the smaller amount of blood in a woman's system, can you imagine if you have less blood in your system? Of course, she becomes sick more often than the man. She's susceptible to sickness more. She is susceptible to weakness more. She could become weaker more. She could feel sickness. That's why she's having menstruation, and her mood is swinging, and she feels like, women feel so much pain more often than the men. The only thing is that they don't show you. They keep on going. They keep on trying their best. They are more sickly. So if you are a man that married a woman and you are saying, why are you lying, always pretending as if you are sick? You don't know what they are going through. Can you imagine you having 1 liter or 1.2 liter less blood in your body? How more sickly you will be? Then can you even imagine after that you're still losing some of that blood every month for your menstruation? How much trouble you'll be going through as a man. So we don't even have an idea of what these women are going through. And that's why they must be treated. The Bible is right. They must be treated as the weaker vessel. So because of that, so its infections also could affect the women faster than the men. Whenever there is an infection in the city, or sickness, or an epidemic breakout, the people who die most are the women and the children. Whenever there is disease breakout, there are people who die most are the women and the children. Why? It's because of what I'm talking to you about. Because they have less blood to fight. They have less resistance. They have less blood in the body. And if you have less blood, you are more open to attacks. You are more open to sickness, to diseases, to all kind of weaknesses in your health. So the lady needs more protection. She needs more hygienic condition and environment. That's why women are careful about being clean. That's why women are careful about tidiness, about living in a clean environment. Women they react to things that are not good. And that's why I must go back to Africa. I must just go back to Africa. There is no doubt about that. Because there is so much suffering in that Africa. And there is so much need that people don't even understand these things. People don't even understand that this woman must be taken care of. And the women are the ones who are dying. They are the ones who are suffering these things. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Well, let me just read let me see what people have been writing. Elizabeth Ali is saying, it is true. I remember when I was 8 months pregnant and still going to work. I mean, can you imagine that? That is in London. It's just horrible. A woman is still 8 months pregnant, just 1 month to delivery, and she still has to go to work. And then she didn't have any house help, no parents, nobody. And the husband, I'm sure the husband would disappear at that time. And that's why I would like to talk to the women as well. You have to be careful before you open up your heart to anybody. Make sure the man is ready, 100 times ready. And don't just turn yourself to that public, I'm sorry for the use of the word, but don't turn yourself to that public toilet for the men where they go to ease themselves. Protect yourself. Don't ever sleep with any man if he's not your husband. Make sure that you only allow your husband to have access to you. because the consequences are just huge. So this lady is saying here, I was 8 months pregnant and I still had to go to work. When I come back home, he will be asking for food. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This is absolutely horrible. And all men almost do this. All men almost do this. We don't care that she's going to, you didn't provide for her, never to go to work at all, especially when she's 8 months pregnant. And you are at home. And she's coming back from work and you are still asking her to go cook. And when I tell him I want to rest, he will be saying I am pretending. And ladies, I just want you to know that men just don't have an idea. Men are just so ignorant. Men don't know these things. Men don't have an idea. I can't even read this. I'm so sorry. Anastasia says, oh, why is it that it is not pastor that was my biology teacher in secondary school? No, I didn't even study biology as such in secondary school. I just read it myself. These are research I did for myself, not secondary school stuff. These are not, I'm sure nobody was taught this in secondary school. Kels Z says, that is why women must be eating healthy. Yes. But who cares for them to eat healthy? They care for all other people, but less people care for the women. Josephine Davis, I have always agreed that a man's protection makes a woman feel more confident and special. Unfortunately, here in America, we hear, I don't need no man, I can take care of myself. Yeah, and the reason why women behave like that in America is because the men have abused their trust. And most of the time when somebody tries to, help them like that, they begin to take advantage of them sexually and otherwise. So you can understand where the ladies are coming from when they now want to take care of themselves. Have faith, or say, human. You are making a lot of sense, Pastor Sandey Adelaja. Thank you. Bidemi said it is very proper for men to protect the woman at all times. Yeah. And that's why we must spread this word. If you have not shared the link to this message, go under the video. Somewhere there you must have a button. Let's press the link to this. Let's press the link to this message and let's as many people as possible get it. Olu Ekundayo is saying, just thinking aloud, could these reasons account for reasons why women live longer than men? Yes, to some extent, yes, because they have to be more careful. To some extent, yes. Glory says, wow, this is human science 101. Well, I thought I should give you the best. Lara Shomoye said, men are trying to work contrary to nature and God-ordained institution. A helper became the main worker. Unfortunately, that is how the Western society has turned the women to. Just turn them to work force. Everybody is just thinking about making more money, but not thinking about the nature of the woman and how bad she feels. Adenike says, Pastor, you have to have a conference with men and teach them. Maybe, I hope so. In Africa, I would definitely do that. Enyenyi Adienyo said, most men are searching to marry a woman who is financially stable. That is so bad. Oh, yeah, too bad. Elizabeth, I know. Thank you, Pastor, for teaching us. It is healing to my... Yeah, it is healing. Yep. Henry says some African culture believe that it is the woman who must take care of their men. Julia says most men in America believe the responsibility of the family must be split between the men and women. Yeah, that is the abnormal thing. That is not supposed to be the way things are supposed to be. We must really tell the truth about how things are supposed to be. The economy is driving people to do that, but that is not the right thing to do. Ngoya says, yes, we need real men who dream big to not be affected by the oscillating economies, but who can stand and overcome the storms at their rise. Yes, that's where it's supposed to be. Anastasia, thank you so much, Pastor, for your tireless and dedicated research. Well, I hope you people are taking care of them and using them for the better, to better the world. Lara Shomoye said, it is a great pride and joy for a man to take care of his wife and woman completely, but few understand that. Well, I'm so sorry. Omonike, I agree with you, Pastor Sandey. Some men even say women are too lazy, and when they provide solely, they begin to complain. Wow. Yeah, that's the world we are living in, because people are without understanding. Pastor Pearl David said, Pastor, it is not just the way you think or feel, it is how God feels about it. This is how God intended it to be. The first responsibility of the man is to be a provider for the ladies. Yeah. We must restore God's order. Kels Z says, it is terrible in the Western world, but funny enough, some women like it that way, to be treated equally as the man, because they don't want to be oppressed. That's why they want to be treated equally. Joy Akanon said, in fact, Dr. Adelaja, you deserve all the in this world. Thank you. Well, Agnes Babaoye said, no, it's just greeting us from California. Christina Bondar said, good evening, Pastor. I'm so glad to see you and to hear you again. What an important topic. Now I understand that it is not just a phrase, real man have to take care of woman, but it is physiological and biologically proven why women must be taken care of. Yeah. It's a pity that most men don't know this, but we must spread the word. Tayo Stevens says, when one of my colleagues heard your message on abortion, he was horrified and had to call his former girlfriend and apologize for the past abortions. Ooh. Because we don't know. A lot of men just don't know. A lot of men just don't know these things. You make her do abortions, and you still chase her away, and you don't take responsibility for her after that. Who does that? To make a woman do abortion and still chase her away and not take responsibility for her. Teaching men what to do is what Pastor Sandey is doing now. Ladies in the house, start a crusade of spreading this message. I think not just the ladies must spread this message. I think the men must spread this message as well. I think all of us must begin to spread the message. Anastasia is saying, thank you, Pastor, for spreading God's order, for restoring God's order. Right, we must all restore God's order. Elizabeth said, ladies, we must take responsibility for our lives. If some men are careless with our hearts, we must hold on to our heart and guard ourselves. Davina Olushog, as a feminist, make it look like we are equal to the men. Think, why should they care? But, you see the statistics. Boss said that you're Satan's pastor. I'm a new being since I've been listening to your messages, and I've been educating people around me and encourage them to watch and learn from you. Akin Sugar, what about when the man has lost his job? That is an exception. When a man has lost his job, we have to help. The woman has to come around him and help him out, and everybody have to help. But, necessarily, the man should see things ahead and just, be able to provide in such a way that he will not put in his family in a state where he has lost his job and he cannot do anything, and the woman will be powerless. The woman should not even be put in that position at all. The very first need of a woman is for a father that will provide security and stability for her. So if a man is taking responsibility for a woman as a wife, and you are allowing yourself to lose your job and just let your wife and family be in the air like that, that already is lack of responsibility to a large extent. He must go and look for another job. He must do something so that the family will not remain in that state. Bimbo Bade Mosi. Many men in America share bills with their wives. It's horrible. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. But unfortunately, many people do that all over the world now. Just because, children marrying children, and the economy of, the Western world is put in such a way that if two of you are not working, you are basically not able to make ends meet. And that's why we must generally, a lot of work needs to be done on the men, actually. Brenda Thomas, how do I coach my son correctly? Very simple. Make sure that he goes through all these teachings I've been doing. I've been doing this teaching for 4 weeks now. This is the 4th week. So just go through the series. You see the link in the beginning of the message, or somewhere here you have the link to all the messages that you have missed. Go back to those messages that you have missed. Make sure your daughters and your sons listen to these messages. TY says, as for me now, I know I will not be settling. I know there are great godly men, and I have been properly taught by my mentor to know what to look for and how precious I am. Ladies, we have to now live, to learn to take a stand. Thank you, Dr. Adelaja. Obina said, information is mother of transformation for everyone. Well, I hope this brings transformation. Davina said, the men today are not ready to take care of women, and they shouldn't look to the side of the woman. Leave them alone. If you cannot take care of the woman, why should you approach her in the first place? And the women have to help the men also. Tell him to go away. Let him go back to his father's house. Let him go and learn to work. Let him go and take responsibility for himself before he begins to take responsibility for you. Women should learn to say no. The women are encouraging these men by agreeing to marry them or sleeping about with them. Tayo Stevens said, where are the mentors for our men and boys? We need to start a movement to educate our men. No man was born with a manual. Yeah, but if you as a man, Tayo, will take the hold of these teachings that have been given, just these my teachings alone are enough to change in fact, by next week, by the grace of God, from next Monday, I'm going to be talking to the men. I'm going to be talking about men. What is men? Who is a man in the first place? That's what I'm going to be talking about by the grace of God. Elizabeth Aina said, I now understand. I have always wondered why when talking to men, you just think you are talking to a heartless person. Now, no emotions, and they will still say you are not humble. God help us in choosing right. Yep. Tayo says, all women here have to realize that this information is new to most men. We can start making them available to our boys. Yep. Enyi, Loju, or Lodumare. I think another reason why ladies say they don't need men is because most men become liability to women. Well, yeah. As you are thinking of yourself, your babies, you still think of taking care of the men instead of men taking care of the woman. That is the sad thing we have going on now. Bimbo Bademosi said, even here in America, some women work harder than the men. Yeah, unfortunate. That is absolutely the reverse. It's an abuse of the nature of how things are supposed to be. TY says, I'm so further spoiled now by this new information from my mentor in a good way, because now, well, I don't understand. Lois Nzikwe, because she's going to work at 8 months, made you emotional. In these days, both parents have to work to live comfortable life. I worked until 8 months so I can have longer maternity leave. Well, that's what I'm saying. For a man, that is the responsibility of your husband. I would not allow my wife to work, even at all, not even for 1 month. My wife, I've been married for 20-something years, and she's never worked, even before I became a mega pastor. Because it's my responsibility to take care of her. Talk less of when she's pregnant. That is not the order. That's not the norm. The fact that it's happening everywhere doesn't make it right. A woman that is pregnant to be going to work, even if she's just 1 month or 2 months pregnant, it is not normal. Elizabeth is saying, that is why it is now my passion to ensure women open their eyes before they go into any relationship or even worse, still marriage. Yes. Brenda Thomas says, this is so good. Monica said, Pastor Sandey, most African men, if you are pregnant, they still want you to do everything, cook, work, and everything. Well, we must change all that. Olukayode said, I have just practically forced my wife to retire today for the day. She always wants to show strength when it is obvious that she is fatigued. Women should also help the men to understand their true state of mind. We are willing to help as men. But the thing is that the woman just wants to prove that she's not lazy. And the woman doesn't want to be accused that she is not a good wife. That's why she's trying her best. But our front is the home front, not the work front. Tayo says that we men do care if we know these things, just we don't know that these things are important. He says, Tayo also says, Pastor, I have always believed that if these teachings were available to men early in life, most will be better prepared. Yes, and that's why we must all take, this teaching and spread it now for as fast as possible. And Elizabeth is saying, I cooked for for more than 8 hours on my feet every day while I was pregnant until I went into labor, just to make sure he had food to eat. My God. And she was filling the fridge with food the day of her labor, so that when she's giving birth and she will not be able to cook, the boy will have food in the fridge to eat. And she had to stand 8 hours on her feet cooking just to make sure there is food for the man to eat. The man that is not paralyzed, the man that is not disabled, until they had to carry her to go and deliver for labor. My God. God, you have to help me. I have so much work to do in this world. Oh God, you've got to help me. And I think the same, all this is just happening. It's just, oh my God, this thing is overwhelming to me. God help me. Oh God, how can we help us deliver this world? Just help us deliver this world, my God. Especially Africa. I have Africa in my mind. I'm sure this is happening in Africa every day, everywhere. Oh God, help me. Help us, Lord. I must take this word across. We must pass this message across. We must pass this word across. This is not the way life is supposed to be, my God. Lara Shomoye said, even after delivery, they are still working as usual. That is crazy. Pearl says that men see it as their birthright to just sit down and the woman who is pregnant or just giving birth to be cooking for them. Ola Martin said, I was going to work every day until my day of delivery. This is so heartbroken. This is so heartbroken. Adenike said, women are suffering tremendously, Pastor. African women especially. If I tell you stories of a friend that's going through right now, you will cry harder, sir. Obina said, it's not just in Africa, even in Europe. Bidemi said, we really need to take this topic up and start a massive movement. Nena Shi said, Pastor, you said man that was not paralyzed is doing nothing at home. That is meant for you. Once women are up and going at home, they want to over-labor her with activities. Women need help from above. Why should help come from above while we are here? Oh, Jesus, help us raise up a movement. Help us raise up men and women. That is why feminism is raising its voice. That is what feminism people are supposed to be fighting for, not for abortion. Kel Z said, it is what the women tolerate, Pastor. They are the ones who to blame because they tolerate and accept these things. Enyi Edienyo says, my ex-husband kicked me in the stomach when I was pregnant simply because I was weak and I couldn't cook his breakfast. My God. My God. Is he in prison now? Did you put him in prison? Or what happened to him? Sylvia Oko said, Pastor, please, is it right for a man to put his eye on every income that comes to the home? My own opinion is that a man only has to put his eye only on his own income that he makes. And that income must be for the whole family. And the money that the woman makes for herself should be for her. And it is her freedom and her liberty if she wants to share some of it for the family or not. But what in my own family, the way it is this. The money that I make is for the whole family. But the money that my wife makes, she could do anything she wants with it. I don't even want to know if she makes money or she doesn't make money, or where she has money or she doesn't have money, or where money is coming from. Our own money is our own money. I am the head of the family. I must provide for my family. So I am the one providing the money for the family. Whatever she makes on the side or anyhow, whatever they give her, is not my business. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be for how men, responsible men should behave. Ezekiel Kennedy says, Pastor Sandey, I don't accept few of your counsel. You have the right to not to accept. You don't have to accept. I'm just telling what I believe in. This is my own belief system. So you have the right to accept what you want. You might not accept what you don't like. Our starting is not the same. Yeah, my own starting was a boy that never had a father. I never had a mother. I never had a father. That is my starting. But I made myself work to be able to become a responsible man, to be able to take care of myself and be able to take care of and I didn't not to go into marriage until I was grown up enough to be able to provide for my family. And that is why I'm advising everybody to do. If you really want to become responsible and become like Christ, Jesus Christ is the example for the husband, and he takes care of the wife, of the body, of the church. The Bible says that just like the church, Jesus takes care of the body, so also husbands should take care of their wives. So if Jesus would die for the wife, Jesus would die for the church, I don't think we are dying yet. I don't think any husband is dying for the wife yet. Ngoya Shari says, amazing. So looking forward to next week's topic about the men. Ruth Ogbonifo said, women tend to work so that they can take care of themselves because of the man can't even take care of his own bills, let alone take care of the woman. And that's why those kind of women shouldn't even go. Why should you then go and get yourself married to a man that cannot provide for you? What kind of logic is that? You shouldn't go and marry a man that cannot provide for himself, talk less of for you. Why should you go and join your life together with the man? I don't understand. That's why they are saying some women are to blame for this. Nkiru is saying, as I got pregnant, my husband said, resign. Yes, that's a responsible husband right there. After pregnancy, and now it's only my choice that I work sometimes and work where and when I want it. Yes. I mean, that is just logical. That's what every husband is supposed to be doing. Harmonica said, I used to think I'm weird before. Now I know myself because I was always told I'm very lazy by him, despite the fact that I work all the time. Thanks for this teaching, Pastor Sandey. God bless you. Christina Bonder, I am so happy to know about this truth because I will know for sure whom to choose to become my man when the time comes. Yeah. And also I'm happy because I will be able to help a lot of women in my generation to know their value. Thank you. Very good. Jide Craig. But Pastor, while we agree with everything you've said, what about when a man takes full responsibility and takes good care of his wife, yet the woman remains untidy, unfriendly, contentious, in spite of love and affection thrown at her? What does the man do? Exactly, let me tell you, the reason a woman behaves like that is because you might be giving her the material provisions. You might be giving her the car, the house, the money, and all the physical things. But she might be lacking the tenderness. She might be lacking the gentleness. She might be lacking the touch. She might be lacking the attention. She might be lacking the time. She might be lacking the ability to hear her out. She might be lacking the ability to just sit down with her and just talk and just listen to her. Let me give you one recept. Just one advice. Practice this for 1 month. Make sure that you give your wife 1 hour of one-to-one, heart-to-heart talk. 1 hour of heart-to-heart talk every day for 1 month, and you'll see how that lady will change. But don't be asking for sex that time. Or no sex, no talking, just talking. Just maybe she could sit on you or sit near you or just hug her. Just one-on-one romantic time. Just talk. Just let her talk and just listen to her for 1 hour every day. Just 1 hour every day for 30 days, and you'll see how that woman will change. It's no magic. Women are one of the most tender, most wonderful people you could ever imagine. But you must know how to treat them. Treat them with honor. Treat them like princess. Treat them like weaker vessel. And you will know that they are wonderful people. If you treat a woman well, she will give you 10 times more than you have given to her. Nena She say, thank you so much, my mentor. Preach it on and let the men know their duty as heads and make the women happy or something, for God's sake. Gift Amos, as for me now, everything counts before wedding, because I now know a man that cannot provide for the mother of the children, cannot provide for himself, cannot provide for his family. Yeah. Silver is saying, Pastor, what about if a man has not achieved anything in life? Now, if a man has not achieved anything in life and is not working, is not doing anything, and why should you go and trust your life into his life? Are you blind? You are saying that a man is nothing. He doesn't have anything to his name, and you are going to entrust your whole life, into his hand. If a man is not even responsible enough to take care of his own self, how can he take care of you? Of course, you have to look at the result of the life of the man. You've got to look at how much responsibility he has shown in his life. How much he has demonstrated that he's responsible. How much he has been able to take care of himself, of his mother, of his parents. How much he has been able to prove that he is responsible. Does he have a car? Does he have a house? Does he have an apartment? Does he have a good paying job? Those are proofs, not just that you want to be taken care of, but those are just proof that the man himself has been able to take care of himself. Those are simply proof to show us that the man himself has been able to, to cope with life. If he's not been able to cope with his own life, how can he cope with your own life? Comfy air. Thank you very much, Pastor, for teaching us. The ladies to have confidence on ourselves. God bless you, Pastor. Love you. Thank you. Elizabeth is saying some ladies are just chasing the men because of their biological clock. It is better not to marry. Is it by force you have to marry? Is marriage the most important thing in life? Wait, the most important thing in life is not marriage. The most important thing in life is to discover your calling and to fulfill your destiny. You are created here to become somebody on earth. You are sent here on assignment. Your most important obligation is to fulfill that assignment. The most important reason why you are sent to this world is not to marry. That's why there is no marriage in heaven. Marriage shouldn't be considered as the most important thing you have to do on earth. That's why I personally believe that 50% of human beings on the earth are not supposed to even think of marriage in the first place, both men and women, because they are not ready. Marriage is responsibility. It's not for kids. Ruth Agbonifo said, man of God, I'm a lady. I live in the U.S. I know quite all right that it is not easy with the bills. My thing is, if we help with the bills, there is nothing wrong if they help with the chores. Yes, with the home chores, with the house chores. Yeah, that is more objective. Because you are also working. If you are also working, then let the man also help at home. That is logical. Bidemi, a man, a 21st century man, is saying here, it is a disgrace to share the bills with your wife. Of course it's a disgrace. Of course it's a disgrace. Then why should you tell her that you are going to marry her to take her from her father's house if you are not going to be ready to take care of her needs? Gift says, God bless you, my mentor, for delivering women out of this marriage slavery and using just a word to break every curse of men that is unable to care and provide for the family. More grace to you, sir. Sami Omini said, these are the kind of lessons men and women must take who are intending to marry. Let's start spreading the information. Bola Gold said, what can a woman do when her husband is extremely self-centered and get upset that the wife is demanding too much for her and her children? The man refuses to go for counseling and thinks he's always right regardless of the way the woman feels. I don't know. I think you should talk to your pastor. Let your pastor tell you what he knows. You people better. He knows you. He knows the man. And maybe, I think so, or you go to the experts. If he doesn't want to do anything, if I were you, I would take care of myself and my children and leave him to take care of himself. Okay, Pearl David said, seriously, Pastor, here in America, some women bitterly end up being the main provider. Then why do they need the man? Let them kick him out to go work. Why should they keep a man in the house where they are the main provider? Okay, or let them switch role. Let the woman then begin to cook and do everything they need to do in their house. Nkiru says, we truly have a huge work to do with the minds of people in Africa. Oh, and in the Western world too. Lara is saying, the mentality of buy water and I will buy food. Darlene Madu said, but sir, it's the truth, but it's not easy to be alone too. Well, if you just want to be alone, then you could go and be with any bum in the street. You can just go and rent any, why should you think you should be alone means be with a man? Be alone doesn't mean, that let no man be alone doesn't mean be with an opposite, you can be with your mother, with your brother, with your sister, with your children. That is not being alone. But just because you don't want to be alone, to just agree for anything, that's an insult on yourself. Gladys Wosu, imagine they rush into marriage because their mates are getting married. The thing with marriage is that if you rush in and you are not well prepared and your spouse is not well prepared, that is the biggest reason for people suffering on this earth. The biggest pain in the world today is coming out of marriage. Either the pain is coming from their spouses or the pain is coming from the children because people are not ready for it. When you go on preparing to marriage, you cause problem for the other person and you cause problem for the children that will come out of that marriage. Why should you cause more catastrophe to this world? If you cannot make the world better, why make it worse? Caroline Shorunkan, I find that in church, the only criteria for a husband that is stressed on the pulpit is that he is also a believer. Many beautiful, purposeful, and intelligent women look around at lazy, visionless men as their only option because they are the only saved ones that are around. That's a pity. That's a pity. Nkiro Jibadu said, now I know why I fall for my husband all the time, because it treats me with so much care. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. Every woman deserves that. Every woman deserves to be treated with care. Akim Adeyemi said, this is spiritual revolutionary teaching, What is spiritual revolutionary in this world? Just telling you the truth. Omodike said, Pastor Sandey, don't worry about anyone that does not agree with what you are teaching. We know that you are a life coach and we are learning every day on this platform. You can't ignore your wife and make her look like a furniture and say because you provide for her, she must be happy with you. Please know that money is nothing without show of love and affection. Well, yes, I agree. Oh, Quincy Bell, this teaching is the most powerful and truthful teaching I've ever heard in my whole life. Great deliverance. Thank you, great voice of our time. Thank you, Quincy. Thank you for telling me that. Rosalind Ngonga, thank you, man of God. Thank you. Elizabeth, Pastor, I will continue to thank God for the day I met you. You have delivered me, and generations are waiting. Fumi Jaboda, my pastor and mentor, God bless you, sir. We need to get more men to listen to this series, even if it's late for our generation. Let's help the coming generation. Fumi, it doesn't have to be late for you. I am here. You need any help from a brother, from a father, from a colleague, just from a brother, get in touch with me. I'm going to be there for you. And other men who are on this platform are going to be there for you, and for other women also who feel it's too late for their generation. It's just a pity. Haki Sugar said, Pastor, career-oriented women want to work and earn. Oh, yeah, that's her freedom. She has a right. If any woman that wants to work, it will not be because the woman, she's being pushed to do that by a husband or because they cannot provide for the family. If she just wants to grow in her, that's why I say she has the right to do what she wants to do. But it has to be from her will and from her free will. Usheshuku Amadi said, knowing these things before marriage is so precious to me. You see, men are happy also that they are getting to know these things before marriage. And ladies also need to know these things before marriage. Adeola Disu, we are sorting out our internet. Oh, wow. You need to go and sell that out because this is so important. Adenike said, the lady has sickle cell in the hospital multiple times for blood clots and which can kill her, has no job, but the husband insists she will provide for the grocery for their home and the children's clothing. So as sick as she is, she must find a way to make money to buy grocery. The man will now invite guests from Nigeria to come and stay months with them, and this woman has to find a way to feed them and clean behind them. Oh my God. Do they have a pastor? Let them go and report to the pastor now. If they cannot report to the pastor, let them go and report to the council. At least you are in London. Let them go and find the government council or councillor or somebody. Let them report to the government. Is there any lawyer there on this platform or anybody in London? Let them get in touch with this Adenike Ogunyemi so that she could tell us who the lady is and we could go and find it. She has sickle cell. Anybody from London, get in touch, inbox Adenike so that she could tell us who this woman is and we could get in touch and try to give her some advice at least. My God, you people just broke me today. I'm totally shattered today. Boss said that you say, Pastor, a lot of women tolerate many assaults in their marriage for the sake of bearing somebody's name. It's a shame. We should know that marriage is not the first obligation of any human being on earth. That is why it's not in heaven. It is God's calling, God's purpose. That is our first priority. Chris Ogedengbe, thank you, sir, for this platform of deliverance. Help has come for womanhood. We hear you, sir. Thank you, sir. Joy Ofoni said, Pastor, you have not heard anything yet. We women are in pain. My God, I can't believe this. It's unbelievable. It's just heartbroken. Lena, she said, it's so hard for women, Pastor. I tell you, they are in hot soup here on earth in the hand of men. And that's why I'm telling you that women should know they don't have to marry. Why are they forcing themselves into those marriages? Let them take a child from from orphanage or foster home or something like that. But you don't have to marry if this is the situation you are going to find yourself in. Bola Gold said, I was left alone to care for myself. Oh my God. And the newborn baby for 2 weeks after delivery because he claimed that I offended him. I cried helplessly, mercilessly, but it was all to nothing. Such a wicked world. I can't believe this. You know what, guys? I don't think I can. I think I'm done for today. I'm just done today. I'm just totally done. I'm just done. I'm just totally done today. I think that before I go, I must use this opportunity to say a big apology. But you see, I don't just like to say apology without doing something about it. I don't even know where you guys are. You ladies are. I don't even know you. I'm just saying your name here. I don't even. What can I do? I think right now the only thing I can do is just to give out information, at least for you to know that there's someone there that is talking about these things. But I think I must also apologize for what the men have taken the women through and what the women are going through. I think I must apologize for that on the behalf of all the men that have abused the ladies. I must say apologies. If I stand on my knees, would that help? I think maybe that could help, at least emotionally, that might be able to help. And I'm asking all the ladies that have been offended, that have been abused, that have been injured, that have been wounded. I ask for apology, I ask for forgiveness, and I apologize on behalf of every man. Every man, either they're your husbands, or they're your boyfriends, or they're your brothers, or they're your fathers, that have abused, that have insulted, that have wounded you. Please forgive us. Forgive me. Forgive in the person of the men. Forgive me. Forgive the men. Forgive us in the name of Jesus. But forgive doesn't mean to tolerate these things. Forgive doesn't mean to stay under these conditions. Forgive doesn't mean to keep on tolerating abuse. Forgive means, please have it in your heart to release the man. But you have to move on with your life. You have to do something with your life. Don't keep on enduring these things. And I hope that some men who are watching this and who are following this are agreeing with me, and that some men are going to be affected, and that some men are going to see the need to change their attitude. I just pray that somebody will hear this, and I just feel like hugging every one of you. Just want to hug every one of you ladies that have been wounded. I want you to feel that embrace. I want you to feel that covering. I want you to feel that protection. I want you to feel that fondness, that stability, that security, that healing balsam, that you will receive that healing from God. You will feel as Jesus is embracing and hugging you individually right now, and healing your wounds and healing your sorrow and wiping your tears. Please have it in your heart, ladies, to forgive us. It's just out of darkness, ignorance, utter ignorance. The ignorance in the land is too much. And I'm very sorry for my brothers. I'm very sorry for my brethren. I'm very sorry for the men. I'm very ashamed for African men especially. I'm very sorry for them, and I'm apologizing for them. Forgive us, forgive us. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to do right now. I'm totally shattered. Forgive, please. Apologies, forgiveness, mercy, please. God bless you, ladies. God bless you, men. God bless you, everybody. I think I should give a word of advice to the men that are there now. If you are a man and you are there and you know you have offended any man, any woman ever in your life, could you let's take a decision to write somebody and ask for forgiveness. Maybe you want to write a letter to your mother, to your sisters, to your wife, to your girlfriends, to your former wife, to your former girlfriend, and just write a letter of apology, maybe to your daughter. Maybe you want to write an SMS message. Maybe you want to write a letter of apology. Maybe you want to send flower to somebody. Maybe you want to go and visit them and stand on your knees. I would advise every man to do what I've done, to repeat what I've done. If every one of these ladies have been here, I would have stood on my knees before them. And if you have offended any woman ever, I encourage you to go and stand on your knees before them. Man. Let them see your brokenness, because God gives grace to the humble. Let's humble ourselves. Let's break our hearts before God so that God will not have to break us. Let us just go and humble ourselves for real. And if you can find the person you have offended, or you can do the same thing I'm doing through Skype or through telephone or video phone somehow, stand on your knees before them and ask for forgiveness. Let them see your brokenness. Let them see your sincerity, your apology, and let them know that you are sincere about it. And if I were you, I would go with flowers, and I would go with some gifts and with some apologies, and do what you need to do, man. Even if you cannot go with anything, at least go with repentance, go with apology, go with a humble heart. Show a humble heart. Show a humble heart. Show a humble heart. Just show humility. Don't be too big to apologize. Don't be too big to repent. Again, all the ladies, my apologies to all of you. My apologies. My apologies. My repentance. And maybe some women would need this. Maybe this could bring healing to some women. Somebody is saying we should share this. Yeah, I think it might be nice to share it, and maybe it could bring healing to some ladies. It might bring healing to some ladies. Let's go and share this message. Let's share the message. Let's go ahead and share the message with, especially people who have been hurt. If you know anybody who has been hurt, if you know anybody who has suffered from anything, who has been damaged by a wrong attitude, maybe you want to share this video with them. Maybe you just want to, maybe it could bring some solace and some support or some healing to some people, to some families, who knows. Let's go and share this video. Let's go and just distribute. Maybe we actually need to share the video in the, we need to do the inbox. We need to tag some people or inbox some people and go and distribute it, inbox into the inbox of as many people as possible. Maybe it's going to be able to help some people. Again, sorry that I have to raise up such a sensitive topic. I never intended it to be sensitive like this. I never intended it to be so emotional. I apologize if that is not pleasant to some of you and if that is embarrassing to some of you. Again, I want to say sorry for that. And if some men also are feeling that maybe they were offended, or or some women feel they're offended, or some men feel they're offended, my apologies. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning to continue this topic. God bless.